Before this healing course of body, mind, and wisdom took place, the Tuolin within me returned to heaven and chatted with two messengers. We talked about the effects of toxins on each soul when they incarnate in human form and interact in different scenarios. The impacts of that toxin on everyone, all species, and the soul itself are hazardous. Humans and souls are immersed in various interactive situations by toxins that cannot be easily recognized or eliminated. Even though they are just small souls when the poison erupts, they can destroy the entire human world while they exist inside a human body. You also know that humans cannot receive sublime and difficult-to-understand knowledge. Therefore, to help each Tuolin and human being quickly identify and destroy all the toxins within them, I have transformed difficult-to-understand enlightened understanding into easy-to-understand. That is the knowledge that combines the knowledge of two truths with the smallest particle of energy. However, I felt secure because I analyzed all that knowledge in detail for souls and humans. It will be difficult for people to understand everything I teach because they are immersed and dominated by toxins and suffering. Therefore, I have built a lecture system to help you identify and eliminate all the toxins in yourself when interacting in all scenarios in human life. The goal of each Tuolin when incarnating as a human is to eliminate all toxins and maximize goodness in the yin and yang energy embryo, then transform the yin and yang energy embryo into an energy filter. Therefore, identifying and eliminating internal toxins is the first important task for you and everyone. Toxins are like icebergs, and they are freezing themselves and the goodness of each person. If you cannot break these ice blocks, you will not be able to achieve enlightened wisdom and practice a sustainable transmutation mechanism for your soul. Whether you are a soul who has gone through many lifetimes or just a few lifetimes of practice in human form, those toxins always exist within you. It only differs in the level of development of the toxins in the interaction scenarios of the four forms of the Tao. Souls who experience many lifetimes of practice when practicing the path of transformation are destruction. They have many clusters of multi-negative energy particles with many frozen toxins. Souls who have only practiced for a few lifetimes have not yet developed many toxins, but those toxins are still frozen in the original yin and yang embryo. In addition, after a long period of studying, you have understood the three secrets that Tuolins and humans are searching for. Through knowledge of the two truths associated with the smallest energy particle, you have also understood the value of the interaction scenarios in the four forms of the Tao. With your understanding and enlightened wisdom, now is the ideal time to identify and destroy the toxins within you. Therefore, the series of lectures on eliminating toxins in the four forms of the Tao is essential for all of you, especially for those who develop diseases related to mental health. These teachings help you break the ice of toxins, awaken memories of past lives, and promote radical enlightenment through sustained energy particle generation. In this series of lectures, I will associate each type of toxin with the suffering you and everyone else have been experiencing. Please share those experiences so that everyone can understand, and especially it helps you practice removing toxins from your soul.
The teacher told everyone in the classroom. Then, many students said,
"We have a lot of suffering and toxins, teacher. Because this course is for people suffering from all kinds of illnesses, mental illnesses, and suffering, we have nothing but the truth of the suffering and toxins within us that have been omitted."
The teacher said,
So we start from the role of a learner. In this series of lessons, you must immerse yourself in different positions in life. Each human part is a group of interactions in life, forming groups of energy particles with functions and tasks in your soul. When you understand all the toxins and remove them from your soul, you will understand the structure, duty, and function of each group of energy particles associated with the interacting groups in the four forms of the Tao. As a result, it will create strength to help you activate goodness by producing positive energy particles in each interaction group of the four forms of the Way. And now please tell me about your painful experiences as a learner. That is, you learn knowledge in a school environment, in a social setting, in a religious and belief environment, or from someone. Learners are someone who receives information or applies someone's method to practice in life.
A female student shared,
Teacher, I have suffered from hallucinations for more than 10 years. In my head, I always hear words, sometimes gentle and sometimes threatening. I always see images of demons, images of Buddhas and spirits. Only I can hear and see those words and images. It has caused me insomnia and depression for over 10 years. During my years of illness, I went to many places to meet fortune tellers to find out what was wrong with me. Then I met an excellent fortune teller who can know everything when someone comes to him for help. He has a wife and children, but for some reason, many girls still fall in love and have children with him, and I was no exception. I left home to serve him when he went bankrupt due to gambling and addiction. When I suffered extremely due to my illness and the months spent with him while he was avoiding debt, I accidentally learned about your knowledge of the two truths. After reading for a long time, I understood his nature and my illness. Miraculously, I enlightened and my hallucinations and depression disappeared. I realized your knowledge was the only way to help me overcome suffering, so I studied day and night. After that, I returned to my parents and raised my children alone. While he continued to tell fortunes and take advantage of people's beliefs to practice rituals, he made a lot of money. I joined your course because I wanted to cure my disease and help others completely.
Another student said,
My story is also fascinating, teacher. Previously, I studied and gained a lot of knowledge in the beliefs of ancestor worship, gods, and Buddhism. During the years of studying and practicing that knowledge, I saw teachers and students become increasingly greedy and angry, doing things that harm each other, and taking advantage of religion to make money from people. Understanding those mistakes, I decided not to join those groups anymore. After knowing your knowledge, I learned and practiced helping people very enthusiastically. Learning and practicing the knowledge of the two truths in the early stages cannot avoid mistakes when I have studied negative knowledge for many years. But other classmates used those things to criticize me, even concluding that I intended to betray and harm you. I know you know that. You don't believe in those things. You even encouraged me to overcome those toxins and actively help people more. Until now, my intelligence and soul have changed and become much more complete after the experiences of negative interactions between learners and the achievements of helping people with the knowledge of the two truths.
The teacher said,
Thank you for your sharing. Those shares are evidence of the toxins erupting from learners' souls. Such painful experiences are a manifestation of the toxicity released in everyone's interactions as learners. It is also proven that when experiencing tribulation in interactive scenarios, you will recognize and eliminate toxins to gain enlightened wisdom. You must be grateful for all the suffering that has been, is, and will come to you in life. It is a miraculous material to help each soul understand the three secrets, followed by the power to practice the mechanism of sustainable transmutation. Therefore, you should not hate, criticize, or fear suffering in all interactive scenarios. When I help you unfreeze each group of toxins in different human roles, you try to use the knowledge of the two truths associated with the smallest energy particles and the transformation mechanism to think and comprehend. That helps you encode unique enlightened wisdom into all scenarios in life to practice activating kindness for the best results. When do you know you and everyone else are taking on the role of learners? When you are a student studying at school, you are people who learn knowledge in religions. You are people who know or read understanding from books and philosophical ideologies. You are the one receiving knowledge from someone, and you practice according to a specific wisdom or method. At that time, you play the role of a learner. Are learners toxins that you must recognize and eliminate when they appear and develop within yourself? It includes the poison of being lazy to study. When you are a student studying at school, you are busy playing and not studying hard. That is a waste of money for parents. In particular, you cannot cultivate your intelligence to develop your career and future. When you do not have wisdom and understanding, you will not be aware of good and harmful values, so you can easily take actions that hurt yourself and others. The toxicity of the inability to perceive whether the knowledge you learn is good or harmful. That is, When you know wisdom from religions, beliefs, perspectives, philosophical ideologies, and books, you cannot recognize the value of that knowledge. You are influenced by the psychology of the crowd, by tradition that you believe and apply to life. For example, you see a festival of killing animals to worship the gods. It is a good action because the ritual is traditional and is passed down from generation to generation. You have received a toxic amount of information that you think is the beauty of culture. That is the poison of ignorance that cannot distinguish its value. You must understand that the act of killing animals is an act that produces harmful energy particles, and it is never a kind act. In particular, no gods encourage such actions of humans because souls must practice to improve their yin and yang embryos. Therefore, there is no way the gods will punish humans. Another example is when you participate in religious activities because the knowledge you learn is from the scriptures and you ultimately believe in what you learn. Then you practice without knowing that wisdom is causing you to produce harmful energy particles. You think that rituals to pray to God and Buddhas will escape the sins you have caused to people and animals. You even spread that knowledge to everyone. That means you are spreading ignorant wisdom that is harmful to everyone. Because you do not understand the origin and task of practice in the human world, you cannot perceive the value of the knowledge you learn, whether good or harmful. The toxicity of being jealous, superior or inferior to your classmates. It is a hazardous toxin because learning knowledge will help people better understand their worldview and intelligence. However, when you become jealous, superior or inferior to your classmates, or even think you are more talented than your classmates, your mind will be controlled by this toxin. You will not be aware of right and wrong in thoughts and actions. Therefore, you will change the value of the knowledge you have learned from the teacher to show that you are more talented than other students without knowing that the knowledge you change will harm yourself and everyone else. Jealousy and being superior or inferior to your classmates will lead to hatred of each other. Finally, some actions offend and hurt each other. They can kill each other to satisfy their hatred. The poison of jealousy and superiority over teachers. This type of poison is hazardous. When students think they are more intellectual than their teacher, they become contemptuous and disrespectful of their teacher. Such students will quickly change the teacher's knowledge, even insult and kill the teacher. Because when controlled by this poison, those students will have their entire minds controlled by intellectual arrogance. Learners who cannot control and eliminate this type of poison quickly develop other kinds of toxins in their interactive scenarios. Those types of toxins will cause you to produce harmful energy particles. When negative energy particles are produced, you are practicing the path of transmutation, decay, and destruction. The best solution to help you identify and eliminate all toxins when you play the role of a learner is to apply the knowledge of the two truths and the smallest energy particle to understand all those toxins. It is about analyzing all the scenarios in the role of the learner to see what kind of energy particles will be produced. If it is a negative energy particle, it is poison. If a positive energy particle is produced, it is kindness. That is the mechanism that generates negative or positive energy particles. When you understand the valuable information about the truth of toxins as a learner through the two truths and the types of energy particles produced, you will appreciate the toxins group in the form of the Tao of teacher and student. Next, you need to eliminate that toxin if it is present or if it begins to appear in your thoughts. This toxicity can only be completely eliminated when you activate all the values of kindness as a learner. Now please follow me to unfreeze this toxin in the multi-particle clusters of negative energy in your souls. Because you have gone through many lives in the human world, this type of toxin has thrived and caused the soul to produce many harmful energy particles. Those negative energy particles cause you ignorant illness, mental health problems, and physical illnesses. It would be best to unfreeze them so that the toxic information in the particle clusters can vibrate. When those harmful energy particles vibrate, the data from the lessons of the two truths will move in and neutralize the toxic information. Therefore, for everyone, this method of breaking the ice of toxins is highly magical to remove the toxins and activate goodness in you. Even if you are new to practicing in the human world, this method will also help you gain valuable information to eliminate toxins when they appear and develop. You must remember that the toxins of each type of interaction can only be eliminated when you practice activating the maximum kindness for that type of interaction. You focus and think about the soul inside your body. Then read aloud after me. Hey, Tulin, please be happy because we have attained enlightenment. Joy because you are no longer alone in your quest to understand the three secrets. In this human life, at this moment, we have achieved unity by body, wisdom, and soul. In particular, we have understood the three secrets you have searched for in countless human lives and the sufferings you have endured. The loneliness and hurts of past lives you have suffered from have been rewarded now. We have regained the memory of the origin, the truth of the suffering of the Tuolin life form, and the great vow to transform into a human in suffering, to seek liberation. Our achievements through knowledge of the two truths and the transformation mechanism of energy particles have helped us understand ourselves and other Tuolins, understand all things, events and phenomena in the universe, and understand destructive energy. We and other souls all contain toxins inside, which are only revealed and eliminated when we interact with each other to create tribulation and suffering. Even though those sufferings are not pleasant, we have helped each other recognize and gradually eliminate toxins in the role of learners. Now, we understand not only ourselves and each other, but also the nature of destructive energy. Destructive energy will invade and disintegrate us as the toxins within us erupt and develop. They make us lose control and hurt each other. We have been jealous, superior, and harmful to our fellow students and teachers. Hey, Tuolin, you can cry. Let the tears of happiness fall on my face. I am so happy to have helped you comprehend the knowledge of the two truths. I will help you get rid of all those toxins. We will work together to squeeze out the toxins and activate the goodness in you. Dear Tuolin, awaken all clusters of energy particles related to your role as a learner within you. Wake them up and awaken all the positive, negative, and neutral energy particles involved in the group interacting as learners. Let them awaken so that the positive energy particles of will and power can receive the power of knowledge of the two truths. Let the harmful energy particles be shaken one last time before our enlightened wisdom and the positive energy particles take control of them. Dear Tuolin, do not be afraid or ashamed when you see harmful information transmitted from negative energy particles. It is not your fault. It is in you because this poison exists in all souls and people. Forgive yourself because those toxins have hurt your fellow students and teachers, and please forgive the hurt that your fellow students have caused you. Our enlightenment is our most sincere gratitude to them. When we become enlightened, they also know it and congratulate us. Therefore, you must be energetic and robust to unite with me and practice squeezing out all other toxins. Next, we dedicate this life to practicing helping and saving everyone and all species. Those are words of deep gratitude to the first Tuolin and all our friends who have accompanied us in countless lives of practice. In particular, they are waiting for us to help them achieve enlightenment like us. Hey, Tuolin, you and we will achieve success on the path of sustainable transmutation. When you complete this method, mentally ill people will see intense conflicts from the soul. Those are emotions, images, and sounds from harmful energy particles transmitted to your brain. It would be best not to worry about those phenomena because they are toxins released after a long period of freezing. When they erupt, you continue to read and listen to understand the knowledge of the two truths so that the information of the knowledge moves into those clusters of harmful energy particles and neutralizes them. Your illness of intellectual ignorance, disease of mind, and pathology will disappear.
A few students immediately told the teacher,
Teacher, it is as you said. When I listen to the teacher, I focus my thoughts on the soul inside my body. Images from past lives appeared clearly in my mind. If it were normal, I would have been frightened by those hallucinations. But you told me beforehand, So I was happy and observed those images. Those are negative images, teacher.
The teacher said,
Once the negative energy particles are unfrozen, toxic information will be released through the vibration of the negative energy particles. Then, the valuable information of the knowledge of the two truths catches the signal and moves into them to balance. Defrosting all groups of toxins will miraculously help you overcome diseases of ignorance of wisdom, the soul, and the body.